So we have a few different speakers today from Chaffey College. For our user spotlight, I want to welcome them to the session today and hand the floor over to you all.
Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate it. My name is Sarah Schmidt, and I am an instructional assistant for, sorry, there's a little bit of an echo on my audio.
Yep,
There we go.
it was somebody else unmuted, so you should be good now.
Perfect, thanks. I'm an instructional assistant for Chaffey College. I'm going to go ahead and let my team introduce themselves real quick before we get into the meat of the topic.
Hi, everyone. I'm Monica Hahn, Success Center Specialist at Chaffey College.
Mira Ibrahim, Instructional Assistant at the Success Center.
Awesome. And as I said, thank you so much to your team for allowing us the opportunity to speak today. If you have any questions, we're happy to field them at the end. So Chaffey College is a community college based in Southern California. We are the oldest serving community college in the state of California. We were founded in 1883, and we were originally a branch of the USC system. We are a single college district that operates over 3 campuses in total. As of right now, we have officially hit our highest enrollment ever. So we are out of our post-pandemic enrollment decline. So we are really excited about that. We are currently carrying about 22,000 unique students per semester. The Success Center network right now, what makes us unique essentially is that we're one Success Center operating in 3 distinct physical locations. So our engagement with Accudemia has been a little unique from the get-go, and how we've interacted with it has been interesting. I'm sure Nick could attest to that. Our apologies, Nick. We offer in-person as well as hybrid, synchronous, asynchronous workshops and groups. We currently hold about 200 employees in our Success Center network alone, and that encompasses full and part-time faculty, full and part-time classified professionals, apprentice tutors, and student assistant and reception support. So we have a pretty robust program out at Chaffey. We originally started looking at Accudemia. I think the original was back in 2020, but we really didn't take the jump until spring of 2023, which is when we fully implemented Accudemia. Essentially, I'll be incredibly transparent with you. When we started, I think what sold us on Accudemia was the fact that the data collection process was what we were interested in. The reporting feature is incredibly unique and gives a lot of valuable information. For those of you that need to sell that to upper management, it's crucial. It's crucial for asking for funding. It's crucial for services. So we were really interested in that feature. But because we had those 3 unique campus sites, we structured our system from the get-go in a very unique way. Ultimately, that left us with limited access, limited function, and limited data, because your data collection is only as good as the method you use to collect it, and we did not structure ourselves in the best way. As a result, we've gone through several iterations of structure, at which point our current dean came on, and things started to shift a little bit. So I'll hand this off to Monica now.
Thank you, Sarah. So after a few semesters of engaging with Accudemia and trying different strategies to engage our students and to use the software, the Dean of Instructional Support sent a team to the Engineerica conference last October 2024. And we went with a very specific scope with some of the concerns that we've identified that we wanted to solve, which was improving student access, number 1, improving the student experience, improving the viewability of our tutoring availability for our students, adding group and workshop titles to our offerings, and utilizing unused features. And so at the Accudemia conference, can you go back, Mira, please? We were able to learn innovative strategies to improve our experience. And what was really helpful about this conference was our ability to network with other institutions who had Accudemia, but were using Accudemia in unique ways, which really opened up our minds to be creative and to rethink our approach to academia. Another really great outcome of this conference was our ability to directly connect with the engineers and developers. So shout out to the Engineerica conference. If you haven't gone, we highly recommend that you go. And so then we came back to Chaffey College and we narrowed down our problems with, and I want to be very clear, this was not a result of problems with the Accudemia software. It was how we had chosen to engage with academia. And so we had fragmented student access. So what does that mean? It means that the way that we input our tutor schedules meant that students did not have the ability to make appointments with our tutors because of the way we organized our tutors. This was restricted tutor availability, which wasn't the best way to serve our students. And there were a lot of missed opportunities because of this. And another major problem was part of our services that we offer in the Success Centers, we offer group activities and workshops. But the way that we organized academia, we weren't able to add the titles. If we were to add the titles to the group activities and workshops, it would have been an incredibly long list because at Chaffey College, we have around 150 group activities and workshop titles. So at the time before the conference, the team made a decision to leave the group activities and the workshop titles untitled. So we said, we need to approach this differently. We need to reframe the structure and how we're approaching academia. We also need to reframe our language of how we are communicating to students. And we need to leverage unused features like the events module, which my colleagues will get into later, with the goal of opening student access, because it was really important. Number one, students needed to be able to see 100% of tutor availability, and two, to see the workshop titles and group activities so that they wouldn't sign up for the same workshop more than once. And so the outcome, so we back up, the conference was in October, then we workshopped these ideas in December, and then we launched the new Accudemia in spring of 2025. And so we just finished spring, and we can confidently say that with these improvements, we improved student access, we had unrestricted tutor availability, and we were able to make the workshop titles and group activities visible to students and provide group descriptions for these activities, which ended up increasing our student traffic over 20% from this time last year.
So as we explained in the previous slides, one of the key challenges we encountered was how we originally set up the system in academia. We had used our campus locations, Rancho, Fontana, and Chino, as separate academia locations, along with an additional online location. However, these locations did not communicate with one another. So this setup created issues when tutors were scheduled to work both in person and online. As staff, we had to manually divide their availability between multiple locations, which became time-consuming and inefficient. From the student perspective, this often resulted in limited availability. For example, if a tutor was available online at 9 a.m. and the student searched for an in-person support at that time, the tutor wouldn't appear. Despite being available, because of this setup, we missed opportunity to connect students with their tutors and get them help that they need. This challenge led us to think outside the box and reimagining our academia setup. And thanks to Dr. Long, who tasked us with this mission and supported us along the way. We moved from a location-centric model to a service-centric model, where academia location now represents the services we offer rather than the physical campuses. This shift allows for more flexible and streamlined scheduling for staff, as they schedule their tutors under one location and they don't have to move between locations. Most importantly, it provides a much better experience for our students, making it easier for them to find the help they need when they need it. Students are able to see 100% of tutor availability, regardless of whether the session is conducted online or in person.
Thanks, Mira. So I think one of the issues that we mentioned was we didn't have workshop titles because we do offer 100 and I think it's more than 150 unique titles for workshops and group activities for our students. We functioned for about 18 months with students cross-checking external calendars, and this was before the calendar integration was fully in place in the Accudemia software itself. But that was leading to a lot of issues. We had students signing up for the same group multiple times and instructors not giving them credit for the group, which puts the onus of it on the student, and it's a horrible customer service experience. So we listened, we learned, and the restructure allowed us to explore the events module, which is wonderful, by the way. So we leaned into this. Now our students can see dates, times, the instructor leading the group. They know exactly where they're going. We love the recent update where we can now register students to this as well. That was huge for us. So our intake staff can now register students. We do approach this a little bit differently because it doesn't have that Zoom integration. The way Chaffey utilizes this right now is we have an existing Zoom room that we leverage to provide equitable services to our online learners. So in the events email reminder, we essentially direct students to this Zoom room that's staffed by our student receptionists as well as our classified professionals in the Success Center network. So when the students get their email, they click the link, they jump in, they have a warm reception, and then they are scooted off to their appropriate group. During that handoff, they're also giving their ID number and signing in as a walk-in so that we're still collecting our relevant data for the process. This has made a huge difference. And I don't have hard data on this, it's more anecdotal. But what we really like about this is that when students jump into that Zoom session with our staff, not only are they, seeing a real person, but they also have the opportunity to connect and ask any questions they may have that they wouldn't normally have the opportunity to ask. So while they're sitting with reception, they can say, hey, you know what, about that class I'm in, do you have a tutor for that? So it creates a little bit more of a robust offering for our students, which is nice. We do plan on, so I think one of our shortcomings is that Accudemia has so many offerings. There are so many elements to this software, and we've really only scratched the surface. I think we've done a lot since October, but we're excited to dig into some of the other things that we haven't touched as much. So like we don't currently utilize the survey option. I think there's a lot of potential there to streamline our processes. So we do plan on taking the foreseeable future and leaning into a lot of the other elements of the software and seeing how we can leverage it to better serve our student.
Looks like that might be the last one.
Yeah.
Is that the last one? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Any questions?
Any questions for the Chaffey team? Thank you so much for all that. We really appreciate your time, and we're glad that Accudemia has its use at Chaffey has grown, and that you've been able to successfully reevaluate its usage. And it was, of course, so great to see you at the summit last year. Yeah, no, if anybody does have any questions at any point later down the line for Chaffey, you can feel free. It looks like they have their email there, successcenter@chaffey.edu, or you can email me as well, and I'm happy to pass that along, rachelc@engineerica.com. So I want to thank the Chaffey team again for joining us today, and thank you to Mark for doing the tech talk, and Nick for joining us and helping to facilitate the chat in there and keep things moving along. Thank you everybody for joining us today. I know that a lot of folks are off for the summer break, so thank you for taking time to join us, and hopefully you've learned something new today. And I hope everyone has a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week. Bye, everyone. Oh, and I forgot to mention the survey. I think, Nick, if you're able to post that in the chat, if you do have a minute to take that survey, that helps us out to plan future sessions. So, Nick, is that what you're posting in the chat right now?
No, but I can.
Okay.
I think I just got it.
Okay,
There you
great.
go.
Thank you, Mark. All right, everyone, if you do have a chance to take that, we'd really appreciate it. Otherwise, we hope you have a great rest of your week. Bye-bye.